If you're running any kind of service-based business, you know the feeling. It's this constant tug-of-war between total operational chaos and a smooth, predictable day. Well, we're about to break down a model that's designed to give you that predictability. It's called the authority chain. Seriously, think of this as your masterclass in building absolutely unbreakable operational discipline.
So let's just start with a very real question. What actually happens when your technicians start running their own schedule? Come on, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All of a sudden, your star tech is the unofficial dispatcher. Trucks start mysteriously rolling back to the shop hours before they should. And that schedule you so carefully planned? Yeah, it just completely falls apart. It is a perfect recipe for chaos.
You know, every service business really lives in one of two realities. Over on the left, you've got chaos. This is what happens when your dispatch is weak, techs call their own shots, schedules collapse, and everybody's frustrated. But on the right, you have clarity. And that's what a strong dispatch creates. The workflow is stable, priorities are crystal clear, and your highly paid, skilled technicians get to focus on their actual craft. That clarity, that's the goal. That's what we're aiming for.
So, the big question is, how do we get there? How do we build that bridge from the land of chaos to the land of clarity? Well, we do it with a really disciplined framework called the authority chain. And its whole purpose is to replace all that operational guesswork with a solid, unbreakable structure. Okay, so the system itself is built on three really clear levels. At the top, level 1, you have the service manager. They're the architect, the one who designs the plan for the day. Then you've got level 2, the dispatcher. Think of them as the air traffic controller, executing that plan in real time, minute by minute. And finally, level 3 is your technician, the executor, the person on the ground doing the work. And the rule here is super simple. Authority flows down and support flows up. That's it.
Now, this brings us to a really core principle of the whole thing. In this system, authority is not about what you prefer. It's not about your mood or who you like best. It is the objective, unemotional execution of the management plan. Full stop. Taking the emotion and the daily negotiation right out of the equation is what makes this work.
All right, so that's the theory. But let's get practical. How does this thing actually function day to day? We're about to get into the non-negotiable rules of daily engagement. This is literally where the rubber meets the road.
And I need you to pay really close attention right now, because what we're about to talk about is the single most critical moment in the entire authority chain. It is the one control point where the whole system either stands strong or just completely falls apart.
It is called the end-of-job protocol, and there is zero room for interpretation here. The second a job is physically complete, the technician must, and I mean must, call the dispatcher. No texting, no just assuming dispatch knows. A phone call is mandatory. And during that call, the dispatcher collects 4 key things: confirmation the job is done, the exact time it was done, any important notes, and the tech's readiness for what's next. Only after getting that info does dispatch give the next instruction. This is the exact moment where control is kept.
And just to be perfectly, absolutely clear about this, until that phone call happens, the job isn't officially closed. The technician is not released. Their workday is not over. They are still under the direct authority of the company. This one simple rule is what stops the schedule from drifting and prevents techs from just deciding to end their day whenever they feel like it.
You see, this whole protocol completely reframes how we think about communication. In this system, silence isn't neutral. It's not just a passive thing. It's an active, system-breaking event that kills awareness and control. That call to dispatch, it's not some annoying interruption of the work. It is the work, just as much as turning a wrench or plugging in a diagnostic tool.
Now, of course, we're dealing with smart, skilled professionals here, not robots, so the system has to have room for feedback. But, and this is a big but, it draws a very, very hard line between professional disagreement, which is actually healthy, and outright defiance, which is a total system failure. And knowing that difference is absolutely crucial. So, what's acceptable disagreement? It's a tech asking for more info or raising a legitimate safety concern. That's valuable input. But unacceptable defiance? That's ignoring dispatch, going to a different job without approval, or just flat out refusing an assignment. Once direction is given, it has to be followed. It's simple. Disagreement helps inform the system, defiance breaks it.
And that line is so important because, as the old saying goes, a system is only as strong as its weakest link. And in the authority chain, you might be surprised to find that the weakest link is often the very person who's supposed to be enforcing the rules.
So how does the dispatcher, our air traffic controller, actually fail the system? Well, they do it by letting techs dispatch themselves, by negotiating assignments instead of just giving them, by accepting silence as an answer. Every single one of these actions is a small surrender of authority, and when a dispatcher tries to avoid a little confrontation, they are actively tearing down the very structure they are paid to protect. You have to remember, weak dispatch always leads to chaos.
And all of this brings us to the ultimate philosophy, the one mindset that leadership has to adopt for any of this to actually work. It's simple and it's absolute. The system always wins. This right here is the owner's mantra. An owner's main job isn't to worry about the day-to-day routing. Their job is to protect the integrity of the system itself. And that means you don't bend the rules for your favorite technician or for a high performer who doesn't like structure. You protect the system, not personalities.
And that protection is so important because the ultimate purpose of the system is to defend everyone who follows the rules. It creates a stable, fair environment that shields your best employees from the chaos created by the ones who won't get with the program. It provides clarity and stability for the whole team.
So, I'll just leave you with one final question to think about. Take a hard look at your own operation, right now, today. Is it running on the solid bedrock of clarity, where the structure is respected by everyone? Or is it running on constant negotiation, driven by personalities and preferences? Because your answer to that question really determines whether you're building a business of chaos or a business of clarity.